Well, I heard what I think is a fascinating idea when the director of the African Development Bank said, we shouldn't be growing food in Africa for the first world. We shouldn't be growing that food not because it's taking up land, not because it's food that is going to the first world. We shouldn't be growing that food because it is using the scarcest resource we have in the world, clean water. The resource around which everyone is saying will be the battleground and the cause of most of the future wars. And the reason I find that so fascinating is that I don't think we stop enough to think about how things are so interconnected, or how ideas that seem good on the surface may have an underlying result that is, in fact, is not good for anyone. Well, the work I do is basically with education. And there's a lot of push for improving the quality of education, which, who can argue with that? One of the ways we push for the quality of education is to focus on the issue of standards, and international standards, and standards that assure everyone is getting an equal education. I would argue that striving for everyone to get an equal education is one of the ways to assure that there are going to be many, many children who fail because they're not in a position to master the same type of curriculum that a child from an upper middle class home in New York can master. So the whole idea that equal quality means equitable success is not been thought through very clearly or very academically or even scientifically. And I think there's a very good chance that focusing our concepts of education as equal quality could end up meaning a great many more children fail. Well, I'll have to say that I don't think that the SID chapter is taking education as seriously as it needs to. There was not a table to discuss education down at the luncheon table discussion thing. The panel on education that's put together seems to not have thought through very clearly what the discussion needs to be. So my response is that it's something that the SID chapters need to be taking more seriously than they do. Education remains the pathway to success, opportunity, and equity. And currently I would argue that what education has become is the pathway for exclusion. It is no longer acceptable to discriminate on the basis of race, or gender, or ethnicity. The way we now discriminate is through the process of what kind of education you have and where you got it.